What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And today I am going to be giving you my thoughts on Star Wars Visions Volume 2, otherwise known as Season 2 of Star Wars Visions. You may remember a few years back I made a video covering the first season of Visions, where I said I liked it and found it to be an enjoyable experience overall, but it felt more like a creative experiment rather than a fully formed idea. Well, Volume 2 is that fully formed idea. There's much more variety in this season, not just in the many animation styles presented, but also in the different stories told throughout it. I'd argue there isn't a single bad episode in the bunch. Don't get me wrong, Season 1 had some standout episodes, like The Ninth Jedi, The Elder, and The Duel, which spawned one of my favorite Star Wars books, The Ronin. But there were also some flat-out terrible ones, like the final episode, Akakiri, and Season 1 was mostly reliant on traditional anime art styles. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't dislike anime, I've just never watched a ton of it, nor is it my favorite form of animation, which is why I was incredibly happy to see Season 2 bringing many different forms of animation to the table, including my favorite animation style, stop motion. A third of this season consists of stop motion animated episodes, and they are all unique in their own way. My personal favorite, In the Stars, combines several stop motion techniques to create an experience that remains unparalleled by any other episode in this series. I Am Your Mother, brought to us by Aardman, the same studio behind Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run, uses a highly expressive form of claymation, very befitting of the episode's tone, and the final episode, Ao's Song, uses an incredibly vibrant color palette with character models that appear to be made out of felt. Even from the get-go, the first episode of this season, Sith, treats us to some artsy, almost Spider-Verse-esque animation, and the Bandits of Golak offers up an extremely unique style which I can only describe as a mixture of the Clone Wars and Arcane. Funnily enough, the most typical anime episode in this season, Journey to the Dark Head, was probably my least favorite, mostly due to the poorly fleshed out character dynamics. I actually found its core message to be quite compelling. And that's something worth mentioning about this season. Each and every episode has something which can be taken away from it, whether it be a theme or moral lesson. In the Stars is a story about the last two surviving members of an indigenous community which has been occupied by the Empire, standing together and fighting back against the Empire's oppression, proving that even if we are small in number, we can still make a difference. The Pit tells a very similar story, with a group of miners being left for dead by the Empire at the bottom of a massive pit, only for the people of the city to step forward in defense of them, once again fighting back against the Empire's oppression. My second favorite episode of this season, The Spy Dancer, is a story about a woman reconnecting with her son who was taken from her as a baby and has since become an Imperial officer. Once again, something distinctly different from any of the other stories presented here. If you think about it, most episodes in Season 1 followed a similar formula. Most of them were origin stories that ended with the hero having a big lightsaber duel with the villain, and while there are a lot of lightsabers, Jedi, and Sith in this season, they weren't at the forefront. The cultural elements were much more prominent this time around, and were implemented well into previously established Star Wars iconography. One of my favorite instances of this can be seen in the aforementioned Bandits of Golak, where we are introduced to a new Inquisitor character whose design looks as if it was based off of one of the avatars of Vishnu, a deity in Hinduism. I could be completely wrong though, so please correct me in the comments if I am. Now, several of the episodes here do share some level of thematic cohesion. Screecher's Reach, The Bandits of Golak, and Ao's Song all deal heavily with the idea of leaving behind your family or loved ones in order to pursue greater things. But in all three instances, that theme is explored differently, making each of these stories stand out from one another. As you guys probably know from my recent 2-hour live stream on the topic, I did not like The Mandalorian Season 3. I thought it was really bad. That show has nothing of value to offer anymore and is being dragged out for no other reason than to sell more merchandise. Which is why I needed a show like this to come along to remind me that there are still people out there who care about telling good stories in the Star Wars galaxy. Each and every story told in Volume 2 of Star Wars Visions was worthwhile and contributed something new to Star Wars. I may not have played Star Wars Jedi Survivor yet, but from watching playthroughs and all the cutscenes, I can say with confidence that it is also a good story worthy of being told. Basically what I'm trying to say is please make more shows like Andor, Bad Batch, and Visions that actually have something to say, rather than meaningless corporate sludge. Let's hope that the Book of Boba Fett's, Obi-Wan Kenobi's, and Mando's are outliers, not the norm of quality we should come to expect from Star Wars in the near future. But that's pretty much all I have to say about Star Wars Visions Volume 2. What did you guys think of it? Do you agree with me that it is far superior to Season 1? Or do you disagree with me and think that it is inferior? Just whatever your thoughts are, please let me know them all in the comments below. And of course, as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.